Well, I'm flipping us on. Now we're on.
Oh, I see.
Okay, you didn't just say fuck that guy on air.
No, I did. But you did.
Cool.
Yeah, but we could be talking about anybody.
Yeah, like David Fleming.
I was going to say, for all you know, we could be talking about me. We could be talking about Hitler. You know, Game That Tune, notoriously anti-Hitler.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Our
geology.
friendship, baby.
We could be talking about the leading geologist in the country, whose name I don't know offhand. But fuck that guy, because fuck geology.
We could be talking about Goldman.
Ooh.
You've come. Friends, the door of fate shall open.
The door of fate never gets old, baby. So, Johnny, open the door of fate and start the show.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's Game That Tune back in the house once again. It is ya boy, John Harrington here. We got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
And we got Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
And we got my friend David Fleming. Say hey.
Hey!
Hey, guys. Welcome back, everybody. It is Game That Tune, episode 164, and we are here to have a blast. If you're just joining us here on Game That Tune, we are going to listen to some video game music. We've each brought 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess each other's games with the songs and a little bit of trivia. Goof off, have a lot of fun. The winner at the end of the night picks the theme for the next episode and plays some bonus tunes. And our winner last week, the fantastic, and no further adjectives needed, just fantastic, me. I won last week's episode. And, me, why don't I explain the theme to this week's episode? Oh, thanks, me. So this week is episode 164. And, Johnny, you have a copy of the Game That Tune charter handy, right?
I do actually, yes.
Okay, cool. What does it say under episode numbers that determine the theme?
Okay.
Specifically section 64.1.
Right. Section 64.1, paragraph C, sentence 5, states that in the case of an episode ending with the numbers 6 immediately followed by the number 4, we are obligated to perform a Nintendo 64 themed episode of Game That Tune.
He's right. It's a great theme, and it's in the bylaws. So yes, tonight is our second ever Nintendo 64 themed game. And yes, it's it's one of our oldest and most celebrated traditions, Game That Tune 64. So
I love how you were talking about how like it was going to center around you, and then you immediately handed it off to Johnny to discuss the theme.
he wrote the bylaws.
Yeah, I wrote the bylaws. We all ratified them. You were there. This is
Yeah.
I'm the official keeper
You
of
signed
the
your name
rules.
so big on those bylaws.
There's only 4 of us, and there was so much space. I thought we had to like each take up a quarter of the page.
You really John Hancocked it, is what you did.
Yeah. The Declaration of GTT Pendants. You just took over the whole document. But
I would make sure that we update our cover photo on Facebook to be the signing of the Declaration of Independence with us superimposed.
Oh, that sounds like a Photoshop job waiting to happen. So anyway, yeah, it's a Nintendo 64 themed episode, and I think this one's going to be a lot of fun because we've used plenty of Nintendo 64 games on the show, and there aren't very many Nintendo 64 games. So one could say we're scraping the Nintendo 64 barrel here. I don't think we are. I think it's a rich, deep barrel that you can just keep scraping. Like, it's surprisingly, it's a shallow barrel of games, but a deep barrel of tunes and of fondness and nostalgia. So I think we got a pretty good show coming up.
John, I don't think you've ever seen a barrel in your life. I don't think that's how barrels work at all.
The barrel's deep and wide.
You can fit in a gorilla in there.
Yeah, deep with tunes, shallow of games. Maybe it's more like a kiddie pool.
You heard it here first. The Nintendo 64, the kiddie pool of video games.
It kind of is. It comes in a lot of different colored plastics. You can play with 4 people. All things kiddie pool related. So it's good. And yeah, it's I think we got a great show coming up. We got 4 great games. We got a great fan request. And just like Nintendo 64 back in the day, we're doing it 4-player style. So Johnny, plug your controller into port number 1, and let's start the show.
Game 1.
All right, so this crossover game is one of the few entirely 2D games on the N64. I do have an additional piece of trivia if you feel that will help.
No. Uh-oh.
All right.
John, I cannot hear you just then. Just an FYI.
Thanks, pal. I'm flatulent, so I muted my mic. It's a courtesy.
Let's see some answers. So, John Regan says Mario Tennis. Sadly,
The great
incorrect.
guess.
Jesse Moore says Mischief Makers. Sadly incorrect. John Harrington has the correct answer. Magical Tetris Challenge. Now, was that your original guess?
I mean, no, it's my guess upon hearing the music.
Okay.
I immediately know that music. Not from playing Magical Tetris Challenge, but from making GTT Gems, which you should check out by going to patreon.com/GameThatTune. Check out our GTT Gems show where we take a look back at video game music from 30, 20, and 10 years ago. And I recently featured Magical Tetris Challenge on it because it's a lot of fun. So anyway, David, tell us about Magical Tetris Challenge. Who does this game feature?
This is the crossover everyone was demanding between Tetris and the Mickey Mouse series.
Ooh.
So you can play as Mickey, I believe, Minnie, and Goofy. In the Game Boy Color version, you could also play as Pete. Like, you can unlock Pete. So, yeah, it's Tetris. But one of the things that was cool about this game was it featured magical Tetris, where as you, like, connect pieces and everything and fuck up your opponent, you would unlock pieces that you would send over that were not 4 pieces, they were 5 pieces, because every Tetris piece is based off of like 4 blocks arranged in different ways. You would unlock 5 blocks that you'd send over. So you would unlock W blocks and U blocks, and I believe they were called I blocks. It was basically the long piece, but with an extra one. So,
Man, you probably fuck somebody up with that. Get a Pinterest.
yeah,
Like,
you could actually get a Pinterest in this game.
Interesting.
So, but that was all regulated to like one mode. There was a story mode. There was magical Tetris, and then there were like basic time attack, score attack. I mean, in the end, it's Tetris, but this is Tetris with Mickey Mouse. And as we established in the beginning, the N64 didn't have a ton of classic games, so I was looking at like, oh, N64, I played a fuck ton of N64 games like Ocarina of Time, used it. Mario Kart 6, used it.
All
Jet
of your
Force
first
Gemini,
choices we've used on the show.
Jack 64, used it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I pulled out, I had 2 games in my hands, and I'm not going to reveal the other one because that may come up on the show later. And I listened to the soundtrack to that game. It's like, okay, this is very like atmospheric, moody, like, okay, that could work. And it's like Magical Tetris Challenge. Well, let me check out the soundtrack to this. Like, wait a minute, this soundtrack is fucking funktastic. This
great.
needs to be on the show.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Similarly to the other Disney odd crossover game, Mickey Speedway USA, also funky as hell. So something about those Disney games on Nintendo 64, they made you get the funk up.
Which apparently I didn't realize because I wasn't like clued into the scene at the time this game came out. But apparently there was some backlash when this game came out because this is one of 3 Capcom games to come out on the N64. So it's like, oh wait, Capcom is making a Disney game on the N64? This is gonna be badass. Like, oh, we're making a Tetris game. That's it? Like,
yeah. Disney wrote us a check and we're going to cash it. And here's a Tetris game. Like,
I was really concerned.
We're going easy.
I was really trying to rack in my brain for a second when you said like you weren't in the scene at the time, and I was like, the Tetris scene, the Disney scene, like what scene was it you were not in?
The magical Tetris scene. He wasn't quite there.
Well, I mean, like I wasn't like reading all of the gaming magazines at the time, but yeah, there was or in the alt Usenet groups because this game came out in the late 90s. So
those
the
were
internet
dead by
wasn't
then,
quite
David.
a thing.
As somebody on the internet, those were gone even by then. However,
but if they were gone, then how did people get outraged about things in 1998? That doesn't make any sense. What, did they just get mad and keep it to themselves? No, they wrote magazines about it.
Yeah, you started live journals.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my problem.
Or a GeoCities page.
I wasn't checking the Disney Tetris live journal community.
There it is.
Which I'm sure was a thing that existed.
Back then they were called web rings. That's what it was all about, those web rings.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
anyway,
God.
so...
Remember early pages with web rings where you would like click the next button and it would take you to a random page assigned to that web ring?
Yeah, I was in like 5.
Of course you were.
Yeah. So anyway, this magical Tetris, David, is it challenging?
I mean, it can get difficult, particularly in the magical Tetris mode, because again, you get those like 5-piece Tetris blocks, and then eventually the game just kind of says like, fuck you. So it starts sending over blocks. It's like, okay, here's a block. Here's like a Tetris piece that's 5 blocks by 5 blocks squared. Build around this. Like,
cool.
Yeah, eventually you can like really mess up your opponent.
It'd be pretty great if for the magical Tetris they gave you like a triangle just to like really fuck with you. It's like, huh? Oh no. Like, what is that? A sphere? How?
All right, I'm doing pretty good in this
Tetris sphere. Who ever heard of such a thing?
I'm doing pretty good at this Tetris game. It's like, oh god, that's an isometric angle. What the hell do I do with this?
Is that a Mobius loop? Oh no.
That's what we need. We need Tetris Mobius. And it's just Tetris never ending. Like,
you need MC Escher Tetris.
Oh god.
It's all illusions and the pieces.
It's just Tetris, forever. But the pieces like come out of a door on the wall. Like,
oh man, this
it's Tetris, but you never win, you never lose. It just keeps playing.
And it's got a lot of stairs.
Are we describing
Lot of
hell?
stairs.
I think we're describing hell right now.
So basically, we're describing like Tetris War Games Edition. The only correct move is to never play.
Yes, seriously, don't put MC Etris in your fucking system. You don't want to play that at all. It's gonna get weird, man.
We're talking like 6th-dimensional Tetris.
Oh, yeah. What is what's the 5th dimension? I'm trying to think.
Well, I think
there's already a
it's a
time
band.
element to it.
I think
so.
when you play 6-dimensional Tetris, your beer turns into water, and and you fuck up, and down gets jealous. Like that's what 6-dimensional Tetris is.
Oh, good lord!
All
But that
right.
wasn't this.
I got a 6-dimensional Tetris. That's awesome. Now I feel green.
Now a Teddy Graham is the president. Unfortunately, they raised the voting age to -3, so there's nothing you could do about it.
If you make a 6-dimensional Tetris, you get just a singularity. Oh god. Anyway, yeah. So dimensional Tetris, great idea. That's a game for like an upcoming system. Maybe they get like a magical Tetris challenge featuring Rick and Morty. And
Oh
just
boy!
have it be multiverse Tetris.
Hey Morty, I'm a
Takes-
Tetrino.
What more do you want out of this?
I'm T-Block Rick.
Why would you do that? I just did it. What more do you want out of this?
Lots and lots of fucking money. When the Russians tell you to make a Tetris game, you make a fucking Tetris game.
Turn myself into an L block. I may have fucked up on this.
Anyway, Rick and Morty's fine. Tetris is good. Magical Tetris challenge, fine. David, by your
I
assessment.
mean, it's Tetris. Like Tetris has never been bad. Period. They added like when has Tetris been bad?
Well, the creator of Tetris made that sequel to Tetris known as Hatris. That was not particularly
there it
good.
is. The hat theme
okay,
Tetris.
but that's Hatris, not Tetris.
Wetrix.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is, and I'm not sure I want to know.
Oh man, I thought you knew about
Weltrix.
Wetrix. It's
Oh boy!
it's water themed Tetris for the Nintendo 64. It's terrible.
See, here I thought you guys were going to talk about. I don't know what it's called. I think it's like hexagon everything. The guy who made Tetris apparently made a new puzzle game based around hexagons.
Great.
I'm not sure
Jeez.
how that works, but
That Tetris guy
Ugh.
really should have quit while he was ahead. Like you make
What if Tetris, but it's all stop signs? Yeah, I got your stop sign right here. Just make another Tetris.
yeah, but I mean, like in the end, the guy made Tetris. Like,
Yeah, so you quit because you know you can't do better. Just
Yeah, exactly.
like-
Yeah, you realize then that you've peaked out. You've created literally the perfect game, and you just stop.
you just stop.
well, that's why he made Hatris. Is like, okay, if I make a game with hats, maybe people will stop asking me to make games again.
Well, you see, though, but then Valve did that with Team Fortress 2, and people still want them to make games, so it doesn't quite.
That's true.
Yeah.
I do love the idea of Hatris just being like that, somebody pressuring him for his next big idea and he's just got nothing. And he's like, and looking around and like the guy pressuring him is wearing a hat. It's like, what about hats? How about
I think that's how
Hatris.
most spin-off television shows get made.
exactly?
I was gonna say, I feel like Hatris is the same origin story as the prequel trilogy from Star Wars, where they go to the creator. It's like, what do you got lined up? It's like, oh, I got so much lined up. I have so many ideas. Like, all right, here's a check. We want you to proceed. Sure. Like
Yeah.
the Clone Wars. That's wars fought with clones.
Of
That's
course.
what that's about.
Yeah. What's this Hatris thing? It's Tetris with hats. I don't
Clone
know.
Wars.
I'll flesh the rest out as we
Damn
go
it,
along.
Petronov, you're a genius.
It's gonna have a deep, deep story. It's a classic romance, that Hatris. So-
All right, Lucas, I'm going to write you this check number 66. Go ahead and cash this and go make us some Star Wars prequels.
That's a good idea. I like that. Thank you. I'll take this immediately. Anyway,
Oh, that's much better than what I was gonna do with Order 69.
yeah.
Oh God.
That's a much better ending. Anakin 69'd all those kids.
I like the idea of George Lucas looking at his script like Order 69. No. What if 66? Okay, yeah, that works. Sure.
It's 69 of them, all of them, not just the men, the women and children too.
Anyway, David, anything else on Magical Tetris Challenge? Let's get out of here.
Game
That's your cue,
2.
Alright guys, so this game introduced a new 3D mode to the series. And it features a 2-player game mode or a, 1-player versus computer game mode. However, if you play the computer in the 3D mode, the AI becomes erratic and usually defeats itself. All right, do you guys need any more trivia?
Please.
So there's some hidden files in the game code of unknown game developers, like audio recordings of unknown game developers professing love for their significant others. That doesn't help.
Yeah, thanks, John. Wow. Like a bunch of unused proposals hidden inside the game.
Basically, yeah. I have a sound clip I could play maybe that helps. It's going to be a giveaway though.
I don't need a giveaway. I know what the game is.
Oh, okay.
I don't, but I've already written down my answer, so go ahead and play it and make me feel bad.
Nah, I won't make you feel bad. I'll play it, but I'm not going to make you feel bad. Okay, let's see. Jesse says Halo 64. That's incorrect. David, I can't. It's a little dark. I can't read yours. NBA Hang Time. That's incorrect. And John says Pokemon Puzzle League, which is correct. This is Pokemon Puzzle League for the Nintendo 64.
Oh, the one for the Nintendo 64.
Yes, not
cool,
the one
John.
for the Game Boy Color. That was Pokemon
no.
Puzzle. Shit, had a different name.
Pokemon puzzle shit. That's right. Yeah, it's good
Why
you chose
not
the N64 version for our Nintendo 64 themed game show.
Nice.
So, yeah, very nice.
How did they make this 3D? What was that?
So basically, instead of playing on a flat field, that's like I think the usual field is 6 blocks wide for the Puzzle League series. It's like I think it's about 12 or 18 blocks wide and on a cylinder.
Huh.
So it's still kind of, I guess it's really like 2D, but you can there's no there's no edges.
Go around a cylinder,
Yeah.
so it's like Pokemon Puzzle Can.
Yeah, Pokemon Puzzle Can.
Yeah.
I would buy that from a vending machine, like no questions asked. I don't care what's in the can. I'm buying it.
Yeah. Thank you, David, for demonstrating to our live viewers the cylinder that you currently have. Rocks glass. Oh, Jesse with that attractive Game That Tune cup, also cylindrical. But yeah, I don't remember that can version of the game at all. I just remember playing this once and being like, man, I don't know about this. This doesn't really click with me.
Yeah, one cool thing about this game was that it had full motion video of clips from the Pokemon anime.
Right, I do remember that.
And I do have a clip here to play of the intro.
Oh, I love
good.
that anime.
Hi, Professor Oak.
Hello, Ash. I have an important message for you. They are starting an official Puzzle League tournament, and you are selected as one of the challengers.
I'll go sign up.
I'm so proud of you, Ash. Being selected for this event is such an honor. Well, there's no time to explain everything. You must hurry.
Well, let's go.
Wait! Don't forget to come and see me in my office in Puzzle League Village.
Yeah.
Did you hear me, Ash?
Eager to prove themselves in this new type of Pokemon battle, Ash and Pikachu race to Pokemon Puzzle League Village.
There it is, Pikachu. Are you ready for another new challenge? Pikachu!
Wow.
I like how your sound clip that might contain a spoiler or might be a giveaway to the answer features all of the recognizable Pokemon characters and the phrase Puzzle League multiple times.
I'm glad you didn't play that, John. That would have been just a little bit of a giveaway. I love that story setup. Like, Ash, there's a new league. You're in it. No time to explain. Go.
Yeah, just get here. Just play puzzles. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we'll go. It's like, yeah, I'll explain later. See ya. Like,
I mean,
okay.
to be fair, that is like seasons 1 through 6 of the Pokemon anime of just Ash going somewhere, just like, oh, by the way, shit's happening. You should be there. All right.
Yeah. But literally, not literally somebody being like, there's details, but I'll explain later. Like, it's, usually Professor Oak, he's a details man. He gets you on the right track. He gets you started, gives you your Pokemon, sends you on your way. But no, not in this case. It's like, there's a puzzle league, go. And Ash and Pikachu run off to join the puzzle league. And now, so that means there's a story mode to this, right? Isn't it just puzzle battles against fucking pictures of other guys from Pokemon anime?
Basically, yeah. So you play, I think, the 8 trainers, the Elite Four, Gary, Giovanni. I think Team Rocket shows up.
Bugcatcher?
No.
Oh man, the Bug Boy.
Bugcatcher's awesome.
No, you play, I think there's 15 opponents, including Mewtwo. And I believe this is the first game in the U.S. with Meryl and Togepi. It's the first game in the U.S. with any Gen 2 Pokemon in it.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, if you say so, I'll buy it, but that doesn't feel right. I
mean, to be fair, like, Pokemon did weird shit like that where they're like, hey, here's an incredibly important Pokemon from an upcoming game. We're going to put it in some weird ass random spinoff. Like, I feel like one of the new like Pokemon got put in Pokemon Go. Like, Ho-Oh was in the first episode of the anime for some reason. Like, Pokemon has a history of doing stuff like this.
I like it.
Yeah, Pokemon the anime doesn't give a fuck. Just doesn't.
Wait, wasn't Ho-Oh in like literally the first episode of the anime flying by?
That's what he said.
Sorry. All right, yeah. Sorry.
John, you really got to pay attention. I mean, I know I mostly spout off bullshit, but sometimes I have legitimate points.
No, my brain heard that he appeared in the anime first, not literally the first episode. Sorry, I tuned that detail out. But yeah, that good old Ho-Oh. Anyway, I'll edit that out. Let's talk more about those Astro Boy references you made last week that I definitely listened to.
Ass guns?
No, not those. The things I heard you say and definitely didn't just talk out of my ass and respond to like I'm doing right now. But yeah, so there's a bunch of playable characters in this game, which I think is kind of cool because they're all like the trainers. It's not just like Ash and Gary. You can play as other trainers from the series.
Yeah,
you can play as Brock and Misty and Koga, my man Koga,
Bruno,
Lieutenant Charge,
whoever the hell Tracy Sketchit is. Who the hell's Tracy Sketchit?
That's the main character from Pokemon Snap.
Is he?
Yeah, he joins the anime later. Good. Tracy. You play as him in Pokemon Snap, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's in the Pokemon anime like after Ash completes like the main Kanto region and then goes on to the Orange Islands. He meets Tracy. That's how they tie it into Pokemon Snap.
Isn't he in the anime when Ash completes the main Pokemon Kanto region and then goes to the Orange Islands, and that's how they tie it into Pokemon Snap?
Exactly, John. You know precisely what you're discussing and clearly not listening to anybody else.
Cool. Just making sure. So Johnny, did you actually play Pokemon Puzzle League? Because
I did play Tetris Attack, which is basically the same game.
I was going to say
it's Pokemon.
I was going to say it's like
true.
Pokemon Puzzle League. You mean Panel de Pon?
Yeah. Is that Tetris Attack? I mean, there's nothing really Tetris about this.
There's
nothing
about Tetris Attack.
Oh,
we all
cool.
pick Tetris games?
God damn it. I thought I was going to fool everybody by talking about Wetrix earlier. Like, nobody would see that coming. So maybe I haven't played Tetris Attack. I thought Tetris Attack was just Tetris, but you got to pile garbage on top of your opponent. Is it just like tile swapping like this where you have to match 3? And
it's literally the same game.
Damn.
The thing about the 64 version that's kind of nice is since the Nintendo 64 processor is faster, you can actually play the game faster. Like you can actually move around between things faster, swap things faster. So the 2-player mode can actually get like pretty competitive if you're fast at this.
Right. Because this shit just never clicked for me. I remember trying it. I'm like, wait a minute, you can only flip things like left and right, and nope. Somehow this isn't equating in my brain. Like the blocks move up from the bottom, and I don't know. Maybe I need to play more of these
This game
games.
has something like 5 different endings to it.
Ooh.
Yeah, like
the important Pokemon Puzzle League story.
Like based on what difficulty level you played on, you face a different like final boss. Like I think on easy mode you end at Giovanni. It's I think hard mode, like you get to fight Gary after Giovanni, and on like super hard, very hard, and super hard, you get to fight Mewtwo after Gary.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, you get a couple like extra bosses if you play through the harder modes.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like playing Tetris Attack against Mewtwo.
Yes. And 15 unlockable characters, all of them purely cosmetic.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think if I remember correctly, it's like you get to choose a Pokemon and it's just kind of there. It doesn't. I thought it'd be like playing Bust-A-Move or something where like it has a different attack pattern or like the type matters or something. But I don't think it does.
It's pure puzzle. Pure puzzle.
Cool.
So there's a ton of unlockable characters, but is every character like a different type? Like you get to unlock one grass type, one poison type, one ground type, etc.
I didn't look that deep into it once I saw that they're all cosmetic. I was like, well, whatever.
Yeah, it's different trainers, and each trainer has 3 Pokemon, and the board, all the tiles are colored, and they have different types attached to them, but they are meaningless. So,
well, the only reason I'm asking is like because if it is just cosmetic, and if it is related to type, that would really suck. If you're like a huge like Bellsprout fan, and you unlock the grass type Pokemon and it's Bulbasaur, like, well, fuck that. I don't care.
What? Bulbasaur's so cute, though.
Yeah, who the fuck doesn't care about Bulbasaur? I'm gonna knife that motherfucker.
Alternatively, if you're a huge, like, Nidoking fan and the poison type is coughing, and you're like, well, I don't give a shit.
Coughing is great too, you asshole. Jeez.
Okay, I'm arguing hypothetically. My point is,
you'll never win.
Stop arguing hypothetically against all the best Pokemon.
I know. Oh, what if it's Gengar? Oh, wait, people like Gengar
you know what the
too.
secret though is, David? All the Pokemon are the best Pokemon.
Yeah, the Pokemon.
They're all great.
No, but and there's plenty of different Pokemon. That's the thing. So really, the argument would be like, okay, I want to play as Golbat, but I don't want to play as Golbat controlled by Koga. Like that would be the thing. But like there's a good amount of Pokemon. Not all 150, obviously, but like there's probably some crowd pleasers in there. But again, the types mean nothing. It's it's the picture that is on the background of your board as you play the game. So. I'm sure you can find somebody you'd like to play as.
Yeah, there's
okay, David.
There's
you have to play as Bellsprout.
Something for everybody.
Well, I mean, the only reason I bring this up is because my favorite Pokemon is Pinsir, and every time they talk about like bug Pokemon, it's like, here's Butterfree. It's like, no, fuck that. I want Pinsir. I want the 4 foot tall stag beetle. I don't want a
Butterfree. Does
no
objectively suck.
Yes,
but I think
Pinsir is way better.
See, and I think the problem is when talking about the anime, which this is based on, I think they tend more towards Scyther, not Pinsir. So there's probably Scyther, not Pinsir, and Scyther's cool. He's like a dragon bug with blade hands. But Pinsir,
he's cool, but he's not Pinsir cool.
Yeah, but Scyther is anime friendly. You know what I mean? Like he's just.
I don't know.
Ready for anime.
Pinsir has hands. Johnny, like Scyther can't shake your hands.
Yeah, but Scyther's got more of a face. He doesn't have that weird vertical mouth that scares kids.
Yeah, like I could see Scyther in an episode of Dragon Ball Z, no problem, but I can't see Pinsir in an episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Johnny, I want you to change your Twitter handle. keep your current title, but please add anime friendly.
I like that we're getting Johnny on a real anime kick these last couple episodes. He's really thinking in terms of anime friendly.
I love Japanimation.
Yeah. Cool. Save that as a sound. Play that anytime you're confused by something in the future. Johnny, anything else on Pokemon Puzzle League?
No, I think it's it's a pretty solid Puzzle League game. If you like Tetris Attack, you'll probably like this. It's got full motion video, and it's actually pretty good looking full motion video. Like it's not even just like, oh, it looks good for the Nintendo 64. Like, no, it just looks good, period. Like they did a good job.
Right,
of that.
yeah. Like, the videos in this, they're like pretty good looking full motion videos. It's not even like good looking just for the Nintendo 64. It's like, oh, that's just good looking full motion video.
Did you just repeat everything I just said, John?
Did I?
He's been doing that all episode. Where have you been?
God, am I having a stroke
It was
or
like
are
a
you?
time loop.
You got a bit block in your brain or something? Sorry,
Blockchain.
man. Yeah.
But yeah, like and it's probably like, Pokemon the anime, I mean, it is only like what, 10 frames a second tops, right? Like it's probably not that hard to compress it and make it look good on a cartridge compared to say a 30 frame per second, computer generated video or something.
Right.
So it was probably a little forgiving, which is why it looks, good. But it
Yeah.
looks good. It's video on a cartridge, which is pretty impressive. Nobody really does that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also, the game's fun.
It's Pokemon anime themed Tetris Attack. So there you have it, man. Let's keep it going to the next game, Johnny.
Game 3.
All right. So this game, I got to say, it's surprising that this series stalled out after having 2 entries on the Nintendo 64, especially considering that the first game sold over 1 million copies and was a player's choice title for the system. How is everybody feeling?
I just want to clarify one point. You said this game did have a sequel?
Yes.
Okay.
Also on the Nintendo 64.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Double dipping.
While everybody's finalizing those answers, let me just thank our requester. This is our fan request for the evening. This one came to us via Discord. So thank you, Kel. Thank you, Dell. Thank you, Jet Steel. Thank you, Silvernova. Thank you, everybody that requested this game. So let's see some answers, guys.
I'm definitely wrong now.
Let's see. David says 1080 snowboarding, which has previously been used on the show, which is incorrect. But he was on the right track because Johnny and Jesse have the correct answer. It's Snowboard Kids.
I'm so glad I picked bonus music for this episode.
Yeah, oh, trust me, baby. You know, we're gonna hear it. I'll find a way. But in the meantime, let's talk about these kids and their snowboards. Snowboard Kids, a game that asks the important question: what if there were some kids and they snowboarded? Moving on. No,
4.
what a game Snowboard Kids was. We all played it, right? It was a million seller. Johnny, you bought what, 700,000 copies of
I
this?
did. I was personally responsible for about 3/4 of those million sales.
I designed Snowboard Kids, and I also promised everybody a second one, so I had to buy like
Snowboard
700,000
Kids.
copies. Exactly.
Snowboard
They're my kids.
Snowboard Kids was the creation of Atlas coming to my house and talking to me for a few hours. I am
Yeah.
Snowboard Kids.
Yeah, now, Johnny, as you're snowboarding, is it possible to get shooted?
Yeah, you can't get booted though.
No booting, but there's some shooting. Yeah, and then Atlas was like, that's good note, and cool. So snowboarding, shooted, sold. Get that off to development. Thank you very much. Because yes,
You know, the Game That Tune canon references in this episode are so deep.
they'll put your ass to sleep. Anyway, yeah. So we all played Snowboard Kids at some point, right?
I actually did. Yes, it's a pretty good game.
Yeah. I feel like this was that game that it was surprised to learn that it sold 1 million copies, because it seems like it sold like 1 copy to every Blockbuster in the country and then was always rented out when I tried to rent it. It was like that game I got to play once when I rented it, and then again when Johnny rented it.
Yeah, I recall this game taking up a whole memory card for some reason. Does that sound
Jesus.
right? Like I
don't know.
I swear to God, I remember it was like to save anything, you had to basically dedicate a whole memory card to this one game, which was kind of ridiculous.
That feels more like a Madden thing. Like you had to save a whole Madden season to a fucking Nintendo 64 memory card. But like,
I hated that.
What could you have to save to Snowboard Kids? Like ghost data or something?
I think ghost data was it, but like it had pre-allocated it, or you know what I mean? Like it
They're
wasn't like
kids. They're not as big as normal people.
Yeah, they should fit on the card. I thought there was a sound coming. Anyway, no.
I keep trying to get that Mario 2 sound, damn it, and I'm never going to get one.
Play the kids sound.
Friends.
We have all sorts of sound effects, so we never use them anymore. Jesus. There we
Yeah,
go.
because if anything says Snowboard Kids, it's Colossus.
Snowboard Kids.
I always wanted to rent this game, but they never had it. It was always rented out.
It feels like a rarity. But yeah, no, seriously, with the memory card thing, like, there's only like 9 tracks in this game and like 6 characters. There can't be that much ghost data to save. I don't get it. But no, this game was fun. So Johnny, talk to us about Snowboard Kids. Give us your favorite Snowboard Kids memory. Tell us about, your favorite kid.
Well, oh god, I don't remember the favorite kids, but I remember having to work pretty hard to unlock the feather board. I remember that being like the most pain in the ass board to unlock. But once you did it, it was like the coolest snowboard. Because it got you the most hang time, so you could pull off the most tricks. Because didn't you get points for pulling off tricks in this game?
Probably. Seems like the kind of thing. I mean, how else do you make a snowboard racing game? And
well, it was like Mario Kart, because I think you had power-ups and you could like hit people with things.
Yes, John, we've established you could get shooted. That was the joke I was making there. It's a fucking snowboarding game where you shoot stuff at people. Like
Dell says, I should say Jack Frost was my favorite snowboard kid.
That's true. It was an Atlas game, wasn't it? So Jack Frost clearly had to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Especially with the snow.
Right. It all makes sense. But yeah, I don't have any clear memories of this game. Like, I remember it not quite making sense trying to make a Mario Kart style racing game out of snowboarding, because it's like, well, once you're at the bottom of the mountain, the race is over. Like, you can't have laps. But they fooled me. They got me good. Yeah. Do you remember what happens at the bottom of the mountain when you're playing these games?
Does it end?
No. You get to the bottom of the mountain, you ski into a chairlift, and it just puts you back at the top, and that's your lap.
Oh yeah.
You just ride right into the lift, and that's the fucking lap. It's
smart.
It's a good workaround. But I personally, I would have liked a little cutscene of you riding the chairlift and getting to look at the mountain and stuff. But no, it's an action-packed racing game. You got to just zoom right back to the top. It's like when Mario Kart added in those cannons for all those like downhill mountain levels. It's like, it makes no sense trying to make somebody drive up this whole mountain just to drive back down it. So let's just add cannons. And Snowboard Kids is like, I don't know, fucking magic chairlift. And so we're going to do lap races on mountains. That's how it's going to be. Like, sure.
It's like, I would have liked a little scene where you could ride up the ski lift and look at the mountains. Like, that would have required rendering. That's not possible on the N64.
Yeah.
So.
Have you played one?
Not their strong suit.
Could you imagine watching snowboard racing at like the Olympics, where the lap down the track takes like maybe 9 seconds, and then about 30 to 45 minutes of riding the lift back up?
It's a giant slalom course, and then they have to do their best to square up with the chairlift and ride it back to the top. Like that's like doing a good pit move in NASCAR. Like you get a crew to sit you in the chairlift and get you back up.
I would love to have that camera crew to cut back to there's so and so in the chairlift, still making their way up. 10 minutes into it, they got about 12 minutes left till they're back at the top of the next lap.
They could incorporate, they have that one event where you ski and then you shoot with a rifle. They could have do like the rifle from the ski lift. And so it's
while you're riding the chairlift, you have to shoot things. Good Lord, that's a great idea.
Oh,
Can we
God.
get this at like the next X Games?
Yeah,
And
I think Sean
while we're
would
at
be
it,
all over this.
Can we put like rockets on the snowboards? And I don't know.
Can we put rockets on the rifle? So instead of a rifle, you're shooting a rocket launcher?
Now, when you pull the trigger, does it shoot the rifle out of your hands like a rocket? And then as it's flying through the air like a rocket, does it then shoot as a gun? Like, I don't understand rifle rockets.
If you have a rifle or a rocket launcher, do you also start avalanches?
I was going to say, my idea was a rocket launcher instead of the rifle, so you have to aim vaguely in the area of the target. But instead, I like the idea of a rifle in place of a rocket, so you have to, like, shoot twice.
What's the time penalty for starting an avalanche?
Exactly. That's all part of the strategy of the thing. If you bury your opponents, then that chairlift ride really doesn't eat into your time as much.
See, that makes you want to get to the bottom as fast as possible, because then you can avalanche the rest of the other people in the race.
Exactly. But see, if the other people then have saved their rifle rocket blast, they can just like somehow shoot their way out of the avalanche and just keep going.
God, this
So instead of shooting at one of the targets, they shoot the ground to propel themselves out of the collapsed snow.
Atlas,
why? As we're saying all this, why isn't there a third Snowboard Kids game?
Yeah, dear Atlas,
what the hell, guys?
Please listen to everything we're saying. Make it Snowboard Kids 3.
With rocket launchers.
It's like an open world thing set on a mountain and folks, right in the bottom, chairlifting back to the top, causing avalanches, escaping avalanches. And it's kids. So
basically
it's fun.
Grand Theft Snowboard.
It sounds kind of like mixed with Just Cause.
Yeah, there we go. It'd be fucking crazy.
All right, Atlas, we have a pitch for the new Snowboard Kids. All right, we're listening. It's an open world around a mountain. Okay, open world games are popular, and everyone has a rocket launcher. All right, and sometimes those rockets are rifles.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, sometimes it shoots rifles instead of rockets.
How did you get in my office?
Yeah. And there's chairlifts everywhere.
P.S. I am not a crackpot.
Yeah, I'm a snowboard kid.
PPS would be perfect for Switch.
Seriously, it's just right there. You could put the little the Joy-Cons on your feet and ride them like a snowboard. Yeah, definitely wouldn't crush them or give yourself Joy-Con drift. You just
Snowboard Kids Armageddon coming to Switch.
Oh man, those Joy-Con kids. It's a good idea. No, I like all this nonsense because there's not much to say about Snowboard Kids. Fun snowboard racing game, shooting, characters that look like Ziggy. I mean, there's really not much to it.
God,
kids, please write us and tell us if you know who the fuck Ziggy is.
Yeah, make some big nose references here. Like, they're little kids with big noses. It's a little Ziggy.
It's like Snowboard Kids is Ziggy, but less preaching and more snowboarding. That's basically it.
There's a lot less Christianity in the Snowboard Kids.
But I love the idea of one of the Snowboard Kids being super hardcore religious who stops and instead of shooting a rocket launcher, just preaches about how we should all get along.
I'm into it.
No, that's not. That would be nice, but you know what the reality is. It would not be about how we should all get along. It would be about how all the other snowboarders are going to hell, and it is his mission to save every single one of them.
Oh God, yeah, that's another great element for the open world game. You got to dodge the religious fanatics by snowboarding.
So it's like Far Cry 5.
So obviously, Snowboard Kids 3 is set on a mountain in Utah.
Yeah,
so
game
everyone
starts.
is Mormon.
Everybody's at the lodge, and somebody comes knocking on the door. They try to give you a copy of the Watchtower, and then you have to start snowboarding instead.
Yeah, Mormons are surprisingly not that preachy. They're just so nice. They make you feel bad for not being Mormon. Like, that's what they do. That's their...
Sounds like Snowboard Kids.
Yeah.
It's just so nice. It makes you feel bad that every game isn't Snowboard Kids. So, yeah. So anyway, more Mormons in snowboarding video games, please. And thank you, Thank you, everyone that made this fan request. This was easily the most easily selected fan request ever because everyone requested it. So,
yeah,
great game,
it became
fantastic
an acronym,
soundtrack.
SBK.
Yeah,
which I thought meant Super Burger King. But
nice job, John.
I was wrong.
Yeah. Way to pay attention. So, someone said SBK in the chat, and you responded to that, and not the thing 2 lines earlier where someone did snowboard kids. You're just like, oh, SBK, it must be Burger King. Attention.
To like a Brian Regan impression.
Well, I'm just gonna say.
Did I?
A little bit.
Oh no.
I'm subscribed to the fast food subreddit, okay, and take from that what you will.
Anyway, thanks everybody. Okay, so 3 characters who were playable in the previous entry in the series are not featured in this game. Bonus point if you could tell me those 3 characters. Anybody need additional trivia for this one?
Yes.
Really? So, contrary to some people's memories, this is not the first fighting game released for Nintendo 64.
That makes me feel better and worse about my guess.
Cool. Oh, Johnny says Burning Rangers. That's so sadly incorrect. David and Jesse both guessed the first fighting game released for the Nintendo 64, Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Also incorrect. I am surprised that I got a strikeout on you guys with this one. This is Killer Instinct Gold.
Oh
shit!
fuck.
Yeah.
C to the O to the MBO.
Oh, that's what she was saying. Okay.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. So a bunch of big Killer Instinct fans out here, huh? I mean, you don't have to be a Killer Instinct fan. Nobody fucking played Gold. Like, this game was fine. It was basically just a big SNES game. Like, anybody got memories of this?
Well, I remember arcade cabinets for Killer Instinct advertising that was running on the Ultra 64 hardware.
Yeah. So the original Killer Instinct, they had that thing. It's like coming soon for the Ultra 64. And it's like, oh, god damn, I need to play this. And it's like, okay, well, the Killer Instinct's not coming to Ultra 64. It's going to be the second one. So keep an eye out for that. And it's like, all right.
I really love those commercials. Where they said,
we
I don't
couldn't
know.
get the first one out. Yeah, we had to delay the system. So now it's going to be the second one, Killer Instinct 2 for Ultra 64.
Honest ads.
And then it's like, oh man, this kind of just looks like an SNES game, doesn't it? Fuck. Wait. You tell me the Ultra 64 can... Oh, hold on. You're telling me the Ultra 64 can't even handle the full motion video cutscenes of the arcade game? God damn, how are we going to sell this console?
I'm so pissed at our sales team right now. They made a bunch of promises that we cannot keep.
If I wasn't legitimately afraid for your larynx, John, I would request you do the rest of the show in that voice.
I can do as much of it as I want. I can really try it. So anyway, Killer Instinct Gold for Nintendo 64. It's quite a game. Does anyone remember the 3 characters that disappeared after the first Killer Instinct?
Riptor.
Yes.
Skeleton guy.
No.
And
Spinal's been in all of them.
Spinal is dope.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
No, Jade's not a character. Black Orchid.
Black Orchid's your main character. She's your heart.
Let's pretend for a second that I've played Killer Instinct Gold.
Yeah. So no, they got rid of Chief Thunder and Cinder. And you did get one right. Riptor's gone, which is very disappointing to me.
How do you get rid of the fucking dinosaur? If you have a game where you can play as the dinosaur, you should be able to play as the dinosaur in every single version.
I mean, it's a big story-based game, and it's just hard to write dinosaur stories, I guess. I don't know.
John, I write dinosaur stories on the internet all the time.
All right, Johnny. Write me a fighting game story arc for a dinosaur for the second time.
Done.
I'm sorry, you lost me at Killer.
I mean, right now.
Oh,
and give me the story right now.
You lost me at Killer Instinct, the big story-driven games.
Yeah. Hey, everybody's got a story, and they're all epic and very important.
They're pretty killer.
Yeah, and some of them, they've got the instinct. No, they don't stink. They're great stories. Do you want me to just read everybody's story synopsis in the voice of the Killer Instinct guy?
Yes, in the voice. That's key.
So whose story?
For each character.
Whose story do you need filled in, David?
Riptor. Fuck.
Glacius.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go with Glacius then.
The original Glacius defeated Cinder and returned home. A distant relative of Glacius 2,000 years in the past heeds a distress call and comes to Earth. His goal is to find his lost brethren and return home.
Spinal.
Spinal was destroyed by Chief Thunder in the first tournament. Gargos, however, had one of his own in the past. Spinal now fights for vengeance and for freedom.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let me interrupt for a second. So, Chief Thunder is not a character in this game. Chief Thunder defeated Spinal, and Spinal is a character in this game?
He just pieced out.
Hold the fuck up. So, like, he killed a character, and the character he killed is here, and he's not?
To get sloppy seconds.
And there's a time travel element in play, so
of course there fucking is. This game
Spinal
came
was
out,
destroyed. And then someone, I love literally synopsis said Gargos had his own Spinal in the past, so here he is. Like,
I feel like I don't understand why they didn't bring back the dinosaur, because his whole plot could just be he's a dinosaur. Fuck you. Why are you reading this? Like,
yeah, and when there's a time travel element in play, like, you know, you're in the past. Might there be a dinosaur? Yes.
There's a dinosaur. You're in the past. He's in the future. Who gives a fuck? There's a dinosaur. Just enjoy this goddamn game. Fuck you. Ultra 64.
Beat it up. Ultra 64.
I love how this game features characters like a giant flaming monster, a giant ice monster, a dinosaur, and a skeleton warrior. And they're sitting here like, no. It's important that we focus on the plot.
Yeah, you know,
that's
it's pretty
what we
implausible.
Really want to sell here.
Pretty plausible. Native Americans, get him out of here.
Man, I just downloaded the new one on Xbox. That's pretty cool for Killer
Instinct.
Man.
It's one of the reasons I would almost like an Xbox. I would like to play some new Killer Instinct because I'm sure they've gotten more tasteful over time.
One of the Battletoads is in it.
That's dope.
Whoa.
Does Orchid still flash people to kill them?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't gotten that deep.
Yeah,
I do also like that one of the new characters in the new game is basically the girl from The Ring.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, so new characters in Gold. You got some people from the past. You got Gargos, the new demon, who replaces Idol from the first game. You have Kim Woo. She's a martial artist. And then you have Maya, an Amazonian queen, and Tusk, a legendary barbarian. A legendary barbarian and warrior champion of the ancient world. So, yeah. Big doings here. Yeah.
I remember Anthony had this game, and he would beat all our asses with, I think, Jago.
Yeah, fuck Jago, man. Jago's so uninteresting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's a ninja guy. He's the series Ryu. It's just not that cool. You know,
see, and that's where I was like, oh, we've got this character. We're going to keep a generic ninja. All right. To do so, we're going to get rid of a fucking dinosaur. Like, why is the dinosaur gone?
Yeah. You know, or the cool Native American guy with thunder powers. What's wrong with that? He's like fucking Native American Thor. What's the issue? Why would you keep Jago? Ugh. Yeah. It's just, you know, like, of all the people to get rid of, you get rid of the fucking Human Torch, the dinosaur, and, you know, Native American Thor. Terrible ideas.
But you keep Skeleton because,
hey, Spinal is cool.
Whoa.
Okay.
Spinal is cool.
He's
a pirate skeleton. He's got a sword and a shield, and he's a skeleton.
Okay, Johnny, get ready on the soundboard. Hot take. In terms of, like, fighting game character monsters, a dinosaur is far more interesting than a skeleton.
That's not a hot take. I'm not playing the sound for that. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, you're
dinosaur's
right.
far cooler.
But Spinal's cool.
No,
So-
hold on, wait, whoa, John, excuse me.
Hot take.
Spinal
What
is
the
not cool.
motherfucker gotta do to get a soundboard clip? God damn!
You have to say
Spinal
Spinal's
is
cool, which he's not.
He's
Come
a pirate
on.
skeleton. He's so
Yeah.
cool.
Is he
What's the
cooler
matter with you?
than
You don't
a
like
living
pirates with
dinosaur?
skeletons? Ugh. I'm not saying he's cooler than Riptor. Riptor is great and should have been in the game. I mean, there need to be more just monsters in the game. There's still Saber Wolf. What's so cool about a werewolf versus a dinosaur? They're on equal footing. They should both be in the game.
Frankly, there should be more dinosaurs. This should have crossed over with Primal Rage.
Oh my fuck! That would
We
be
really
amazing.
just need a new Primal Rage
Yes.
game. And
Yes.
excuse me while I get out my soapbox.
Yeah, Primal Instinct. How about it? The humans and the robots and the monsters of Killer Instinct get turned gigantic, and then I don't know, go 65 million years into the past to fight the monsters of Primal Rage.
No, I like it far better if it's literally the cast of Killer Instinct versus the cast of Primal Rage. And if you pick any of the Primal Rage characters, you can just step on the Killer Instinct characters and end them.
You just eat them.
Or you could pee on them like the apes can.
Yeah. Oh, God, that burning ape piss. That is some serious business. TJ Combo's not ready for that.
I'm a really good boxer. I'm a giant ape who will piss on you. Yeah. Okay.
I'm a giant ape with acid piss. What are you going to do about it?
I'm going to punch you so hard in the ankle.
Yeah. It would be kind of cool if they had like a Primal Rage Killer Instinct crossover where your character gets eaten and it turns into kind of like Bowser's Inside Story, like your Saberwolf having to fight his way out of a giant dinosaur, and sometimes control it in other fights. There's good ideas here, guys.
I really want to see like the Killer Instinct cast gets turned into dinosaurs. Like I want to see Saberwolf as a dinosaur.
Ooh, yes.
I think that would just be Saberwolf, but he has slightly longer teeth.
And he's a lizard. Oh man, can you imagine like the full Gorosaurus? It'd be so fucking cool.
Oh my god, cybernetic T-Rex with arm blades? I want that.
Or a big dinosaur skeleton?
Right. What's wrong with the big dinosaur skeleton? It's like Night at the Museum.
Yeah, you find him at a museum.
He's a pirate dinosaur skeleton.
I love a black dinosaur with boxing gloves.
I love the idea of Black Orchid as a Spinosaurus with giant tits for some reason.
Yeah. Oh god, a dinosaur with titties where she flashes them and they kill you.
Oh, my fan fiction finally coming true.
Again,
dinosaurs with titties.
And Riptor just gets turned into a man. Yeah. What happened? I'm Tom Riptor.
I was just saying, but it's not even like Savage Caveman. It's literally just like some dude in khakis and a polo shirt. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Ricky Riptor. How's it going?
I'm gonna need you guys to go carry the show for a second because I'm going out to go buy dinosaursthetitties.com right now.
I feel like I'm going to need it. Yeah, but anyway, Killer Instinct Gold. Fine game. Really, I mean, just not enough of a like cool Nintendo 64 game. Like I played it back when it first came out, and it's like, oh yeah, this is good. It's kind of like the arcade game. Not really into it though. So let's I don't know, play something else, I guess. They just didn't do enough. They deleted 3 characters and added 3 characters, and it's like let's get rid of the burning guy and the dinosaur and replace him with an Amazon woman and fucking barbarian man. It's like no. You had the right idea. Just add more characters. Don't delete anybody. What the hell? But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I don't know if I can do the voice again.
Can you do the voice and say dinosaursthetitties.com?
Yeah, okay, so dinosaurwithtitties.com.
Is that the title?
Oh yes, let's move on to the next game.
Game 5.
Oh, my lyrics.
Oh god, we have so many good ideas. All right, originally there was going to be 4 main characters: Schneider, Carrie, Cornell, and Corler. Eventually, Schneider was renamed Reinhardt, and Corler, a shotgun and chainsaw wielding monster, was dropped from the game completely, and Cornell was moved to the sequel.
You don't have to give the whole trivia, but can you just run down those character names again?
Schneider was changed to Reinhardt, Carrie, Cornell, and Corler.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's see what we got. Oh, we've got a hat trick with Castlevania on the N64.
Hey, it's back.
Cool.
Yeah, the Ultra 64. Hell yeah, man. I kind of forgot that there was a Castlevania game for the Nintendo 64. What a strong game to finish with tonight.
I was going to say, no, don't start this with hell yeah.
What a strong game to finish with, right? It's a great game. Castlevania, it's a classic series, and this is a beloved entry in the series, right?
I rented the shit out of this game. Like, probably 5 or more rentals. Like, this game, it wasn't great. There was this one part that I always remember terribly, but the rest of it, it was fun. I had skeletons driving motorcycles.
Yes.
The first 3D whip action, which was pretty cool. Gigantic skeletons.
Done. Greatly implemented 3D whipping.
Yeah. The hedge maze was fucking very tense. It was pretty cool, like your first 3D Castlevania. I don't know. I have a soft spot for it.
Yeah, hey, I get it.
They eventually made a sequel that was basically what they wanted this game to be like, and I never played that one, but it's supposed to be like this game, but like 1,000 times better. So there's that.
Right. I never bothered with that because if I knew it existed, I probably thought it was about like this, and this one put a bad taste in my mouth, man. I rented it like once, and I could not get the hang of this game whatsoever. It was hard as shit. And, just that Nintendo 64 level of confusingly undetailed. Like,
yeah,
I vaguely remember like trying to open some gates and fight a giant skeleton and not even being able to figure out how to whip in 3D and just being like, oh, fuck, I'm fucked. This is so confusing. Now it's nighttime. Oh, it's even worse. But David, tell us all your favorite memories about Castlevania for the Nintendo 64.
I was going to say, I definitely remember, this will take me a sec, renting like the original Castlevania on NES and playing it as a kid and being like, well, fuck this. I'm never going to get anywhere in this game. And then renting this game on N64, like, well, wait a minute. Like, it's 3D. I have a better handle on things. I've more matured and everything. Like, hell yeah, I could probably get farther in this. No. This game.
Nope.
Whew, this game's rough.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I don't have any clear memories of playing this game. I just remember frustration.
No.
I said, a big skeleton, and I got nothing.
As to say, you're not misremembering. Those are your memories of this game.
Yeah, you've suppressed everything else related to it.
Man, there was this hedge maze, and like you had to like chase this like creepy like kid in a like purple tuxedo, and the whole time there's this like Frankenstein's monster looking thing chasing you, but one of his hands is a chainsaw, and he
dope.
fucks your shit up.
That seems like it would give him an unfair advantage in a hedge maze.
Yeah, he doesn't use it like that though. But
he can't just cut through the maze and come find you.
Yeah,
it's like it would give you an unfair. It would give you an unfair advantage if your main weapon is a whip. Like, what's a whip gonna do against that chainsaw hand?
You get fucked up.
Yeah, you never know, man. You could kink the thing in the chainsaw. You could wrap the whip around the chainsaw, and it could get all kinked up, and then it neutralizes both your weapons. So now it's just a fist fight against a giant Frankenstein monster. I mean, come on, it makes sense.
Yeah, because that's how the N64 worked.
Very, very detailed weapons and fighting. But yeah, so no, he didn't use it to just cut holes straight through the hedge maze, I guess. So that's one good thing. But that's I remember tension and utter confusion making that tension worse in this game. I could never get anywhere in this. Seems like it'd be the kind of thing that would really benefit from like a modern remake, like with a little some basic things like a camera stick as opposed to the C buttons.
A map.
Maybe a little map, a little further draw distance. Just one or two more polygons.
Castlevania Lords of Shadows was like, hey, we're gonna make a 3D Castlevania game, but not on the N64.
Mm-hmm. It was a valiant effort. I'm glad they did it because when I saw it, it's like, oh hey, cool, a new Castlevania game. I like Castlevania games. I'll rent that. And it didn't work. I think this feels like the kind of thing where I would have like a coupon or something, because renting 2 or 3 games not happening. You had to rent one at a time, or you had to have a coupon. And when you had 2 games rented at the same time, inevitably one of them was thrown aside and and the other game was played in its place. And this feels like that kind of game, like. I'm going to sandwich that Castlevania with another blockbuster game and play Castlevania for an hour, get frustrated, and replace it with another game. So that feels like the kind of game this was for me because I just have not enough memories of playing this. I wish I did because I love Castlevania games. The settings and those Belmonts. Wait, Jesse, is anybody in this a Belmont?
Well. Originally, Schneider was going to be Schneider Belmont, but then they changed him to Reinhardt Schneider. So no.
So there's no Belmonts. Okay, well now you got a problem. Like that, it's a no sale for me. I like family drama and vampires,
and
Well, there's
monsters
some
and things.
good Castlevanias without Belmonts.
Oh, are there?
Yeah,
I forgot.
Aria of Sorrow.
I was
There's
gonna say,
Belmont.
Aria and Dawn of Sorrow were pretty good. Portrait of Ruin is good.
No Belmonts in those?
No, but what's cool about Portrait of Ruin is you play as Jonathan Morris, who is a relative of John Morris, who's from the actual Dracula novel.
Oh, well, that is cool.
And is related to the dude from Bloodlines, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, geez. I didn't realize. I thought there was always at least like a Belmont popping up to be like, "Hey, Summer Cruz, it's me, Teddy Belmont, and you gotta fight vampires now." Like,
is he a mobster?
Did you say Teddy Belmont?
Yeah. Teddy.
Oh,
John, just because you bought dinosaurs-with-titties.com, you need to get your mind out of the dinosaur.
Oh, no, vampires with titties. Yeah.
Belmont titties.
Give me a second.
Tittiesbelmont.com.
Horse racing with titties.
Nobody's ever going to this.
Although now I want to say, I do think you can unlock one of the Belmonts in Portrait of Ruin, but I'll have to check.
Yes, do. And then check if the website's available if you add the word titties. Very important things that we do here.
No, is it Belmonts with titties or titties with Belmont?
Titties Belmont. That's the
okay.
First name Titties, last name Belmont.
Sounds like a weird appetizer.
Yes. Yeah.
Love that titties Belmont.
To start dinner, we'll have the titties Belmont. Thank you.
Classic. It's very, very highfalutin Eastern European dish.
With extra malt vinegar.
But yeah, so Jesse, I mean, you made it far in this game. Did you ever beat this or?
I never beat it, but I got pretty far to this infuriating part where you had to carry nitroglycerin around the castle.
Fun.
And if you fell from any short distance, it would explode. So you had to be so fucking careful.
Awesome.
That's pretty much as far as I got. But
I love it when games make you be careful when you're not supposed to be in a game. It's a game about whipping monsters. It's like, hey, don't you dare drop that fucking nitroglycerin. That's a big problem. Better walk slow. Keep that shit level. Yeah. Pretty good. You don't drop that shit right now. But yeah, I was trying to think. What was I was thinking the obstacle to good. Picking up where you left off in games back in the day, with the Nintendo 64 stuff, you'd save stuff to your memory card and then you'd return the game to Blockbuster. So, somebody else would get to pick up your save file. And then you inevitably would delete the stuff off your memory card and replace it with something else. So, unless you really kept a game and paid those late fees and beat it on, all the way through, I feel like we never finished things back in these days. If you didn't own it, you didn't finish it. If you tried to fucking keep your data and rent the same copy or some shit, the only way I remember beating games I didn't own was renting a copy with a nearly completed save file. That's something I miss. Yeah. Renting a game and having be a Nintendo 64 cartridge with a 97% file of Banjo-Tooie. It's like, yes, oh, we're in business now. But that's something just lost to time. Game rentals and data, game data stealing. I don't know.
Yeah. I definitely remember renting Ocarina of Time before purchasing Ocarina of Time. And when I purchased it, it's like, wait, what do you mean I'm a kid? And I don't have ice arrows.
Yeah, bullshit.
What the fuck is this game?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought this was just a one-scene game where you fight your way down a tower and fight Ganon. Game over. But anywho, Castlevania 64, I guess not officially called that, just Castlevania for the Nintendo 64. Oh, the other thing I remember about this, did anybody have those Nintendo 64 or the Nintendo Power covers where they had secret codes for the game on them? Yes. I feel like that's a David question. Do you remember that?
I'm sorry. I was looking at the appearing chat and I got distracted. Cool.
That's going in a calculating computer.
I don't know.
Jesse, you had the Nintendo Powers with the Castlevania codes on them?
Yeah, most of my Nintendo Powers are N64 ones.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think I got my Nintendo Power subscription right at the GameCube era, so I think I missed the N64 Castlevania era.
Ah, okay. Oh yeah, I just remember it being a fun thing, and then it being a good push on Nintendo's part. Like, yeah, there's there's codes hidden on this cover that'll help you in the game. So like, go rent the game and use these codes. And I don't remember them actually being very useful codes. Like,
this has a 10-page monster review.
Yes. Oh God, I miss Nintendo Power, man. They could really sell you on a guy like Reinhard Schneider. It's like, look at that man. I want to go play that game and use that code. Oh, Jesus Christ. He produced the actual 10-page monster review. Oh, Game That Tune live viewers are getting a treat right now. I didn't realize he just kept his Nintendo Power stash on stream. Jesse really was prepared tonight.
My Nintendo Power stash is under a table in another room, so I don't have it right now. But
look at this 2-page spread.
Oh God, yeah, that's a good spread. Delicious. I thought, David, if I remember, I thought you had a big stack of Nintendo magazines in your bathroom, but those aren't Nintendo Powers. Those are that newer Nintendo magazine, isn't it?
It's a combination of Nintendo Power and Nintendo Force, the spiritual the spiritual successor to Nintendo Power, which I now I think goes by NF because of copyright reasons.
Damn.
But yeah, if you like Nintendo Power, check out NF Magazine.
Yeah, I remember looking at them while I was taking a shit in David's apartment and being like, "Hey, this is pretty good. It's not Nintendo Power good, but it gets the vibes right." So yeah. Anyway, Castlevania 64 is dope. Magazines are dope. Taking a shit in David's apartment, it's dope.
Preferably in David's toilet.
Yeah. No, just anywhere you can read a magazine in David's apartment, you start dropping them deuces.
New Patreon theory. Come to David's apartment and take a shit on his floor.
Anywhere you want, baby. Do that Dragon Ball Z charge anywhere you want.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jesse. Is that a spread in a Nintendo Power of Magical Tetris Challenge?
Damn, dude.
It is.
You should have been producing these the entire show.
I didn't realize that this would be that important.
We're bringing the show full circle.
The very next page.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
This is like the end of fucking The Usual Suspects. Like, Jesse had all the clues right there and yet scored 1 point.
It's almost as if Nintendo Power was advertising the Nintendo 64. Who would have imagined?
Real talk. That last one, though, I think he just showed the hexagon-based Tetris that we were trying to think of. Hexite. Jesus Christ. That mind blown. I thought that was made up. Ugh. Barf. Anyway. Fucking what an episode. What a show. Johnny, let's take it to the calculating computer, my man.
Calculating computer active. Calculating.
Okay. That was weird. Hang on, let me see if I can fix this.
Oh yeah. This whole bit.
Let's see here.
How absurd!
Yes. I forgot what time of year it was. David, you really got to remember to not go fix the computer as we approach August every year.
Do I have to get the shit kicked out of me every year?
I mean, yes, you do, because we recycle clips on this show. But man, oh man, I can't believe it. We're back again. It's time for August absurdity, everybody.
Oh no.
Woo, boy, we got a hell of a month
for you,
coming
Johnny.
up. Yeah, I cannot believe that it's time for me to redeem myself yet again.
I can't believe it's time for me to lose my crown after a whole year.
Yeah, hey Johnny, you never know, man. You could win it again.
Back to back.
I feel like the GTT Sisyphus here. I just keep on trying to get to those finals, and the boulder just keeps on rolling back down the hill. So, man,
I just say it's like, you don't know, Johnny. You could win it again. No, we will make sure that never happens.
it was it was the best possible outcome last year. It was pretty great. But anyway, no, fuck you, John. I will be winning this year's August Absurdity. For people that are maybe not familiar with what's going on, it's about to be August Absurdity, our head-to-head month. So yeah, we've got the August Absurdity tip-off coming up next week. So I guess no winner this week. I score the most points, but I don't know. Akuma invalidates everybody. It's the Akuma challenge coming up next week. So yeah, we're going to be competing against each other head to head for seeding for the tournament. Winner next week gets to pick their opponent. The other two square off, and then they'll meet in the August Absurdity finals. So it's going to be a hell of a fucking month. We always have a blast doing this. We love acting like we actually take this shit seriously. So tune in next week for the tip off of August Absurdity 2019. Yeah, acting. No, we definitely always take it seriously. Johnny Bide, take it seriously with titties.com. Thank you.
I can't keep buying these .coms, guys.
I'm broke, man. I'm broke. So anyway, yeah, awesome show tonight. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks everybody watching along live with us. We're live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Search for Game That Tune. Check us out in podcast form. Anywhere you get your podcast, search for Game That Tune. Give us a listen there. We appreciate you guys listening. Thanks to all of our requesters this week. They all put their request in the Discord, and they said it so many times that we had to choose it. So head on over to, GameThatTune.com and find our Discord link. Join us, chat along there, make requests. You can also make your request gamethattune@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter at gamethattune. You can make your requests on YouTube in our 24/7 video game music live stream. That's always going, and sometimes I'm there and I'll take your request, and maybe I won't even play it on the show. Maybe I'll just add it to the YouTube stream or something. I don't know. You catch me on a good day. Thanks to everybody checking out patreon.com/gamethattune. It's the home for our fun exclusives. We've got GTT Gyms. We've got Game That Tune mixtapes. We've got Jesse's covered up shows. We're always doing something fun, and we're working on getting our movie commentaries back going again. I feel like we should crank out a bunch of this stuff. We should really overwork ourselves for August. Like, let's just, August overworking absurdity. So everybody, clear your schedules, get rid of all your adult responsibilities, say goodbye to your wives, and let's all do just weeks and weeks of movie commentaries and things. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Bye. Say goodbye to your wives with titties.com. And yeah, so
say hello to your wives without titties.com.
Say goodbye to your wives with titties as opposed to
without. I don't know. But yeah, thank you to everybody checking out Patreon. Thanks to our Patreon super fan tier producers, Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens. You guys are all fantastic. And you can follow us on Twitter at GameThatTune. Hit us up there. We love chit-chatting about video game music and stuff. Or you can follow us individually on Twitter. I'm there at JGangsta187. You can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan JR.
You can find Jesse Moore on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
And you can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
Well, we didn't declare a winner because Akuma came in and busted up the computer. But as the one who picked the theme and also scored the most points, I feel it's up to me to just announce the bonus tunes headed into the end of the show. It's our Nintendo 64 Spectacular, and we all come to certain agreements, and this was going to be the bonus tunes no matter what. So Johnny, let's just go to it, and we'll see you all in August Absurdity. Peace out, everybody.
What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity back bumper. What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity back bumper. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bump to the bumper. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bump to the bumper. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bump to the bumper. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bump to the bumper. Bump to the boot to the boot to the boot boot. Bump to the bass to the bass bass. Bump to the boot to the boot to the boot. Bump to the bass to the bass bass. to the boot to the bum to the bass, bum to the boot to the bum to the boot to the bum to the bass, bum to the boot to the bum to the boot to the bum to the bass, bum to the boot to the bum to the boot to the bum to the bass, bum to the boot to the bum to the boot to the bum to the bass, bum to the boot to the bum to the boot to the bum to the bass, bum to the boot to the bum to the boot to the bum to the bass, bum to the boot to the bum to the boot to the bum to the bass, bum to the boot to the bum to the boot to the boot to the boot boot bump to the bass bass bump to the boot to the boot to the boot bump to the bass bass bump to the boot to the bump to the bass bump to the boot to the bump to the boot to the bump to the bass bump to the boot to the
Magical Tetris Challenge is copyright 1998 Disney Enterprises Incorporated and Capcom Company Limited. Pokemon Puzzle League is copyright 2000 Nintendo of America Incorporated, Game Freak Incorporated, Creatures Incorporated, and Intelligent Systems Company Limited. Snowboard Kids is copyright 1998 Atlas Company Limited. Killer Instinct Gold is copyright 1996 Rare Limited. Castlevania 64 is copyright 1999 Konami Company Limited.